Morning everyone. Just had a nice conversation with Sean in relations to, we call it the game plan. So the game plan is basically your plan of action in terms of getting sales done. So we talked the four quadrants of game plan, which is sales, operations, invoicing, and HR. So basically on a sales perspective, you would know what to sell to your facilities managers. You know about the relationship you have with them, and you build on that. And the way you build on that is to know the buildings. So we're discussing Bally Oaks at the moment in Bryanston, and basically what happens there is that we learn about the building. We're working there all the time, so we know exactly the infrastructure. We know exactly what piping they've got there. We know what sewage they've got there. We know the size of the pipes they've got there. We know the condition of the pipes there. Basically, we've done there, as we've been working on that site over the couple of months or the 6 months that we've been there, we've known everything about that building. And which is great about that is because then what happens is when the guys ask facilities they want to maintain or they want to keep up, we also got to start looking at opportunities for new stuff like, renovations or putting new bathrooms in or giving them a cost saving on a water device or something like that. But the more we do that and the more we interact with our clients in that fashion, we make better sales. Now, when I talk about a game plan, I also talk about, talking about sales, talking about what are we going to invoice the clients. Do we need subbies on the job? Do we need to, what do we need to discuss about the workmanship, or are we going to work over hours, or do we need counsel? When we're deriving a quote, that is something that we need to look at. And then the HR part of it is like the performance area of it. So when I ask for feedback at the end of the month, I ask about, okay, how many appointments did you make with your facilities managers? All right. What new items what have you learned about the building that you didn't know before? And what new items can we sell to that building so that it can enhance the relationship with the facilities manager and you can take more control of the building? And maybe you've come up with a plan to put in an SLA. Maybe we need to service pumps or something like that. So this is a feedback that I'm going to want from, so especially Anthea and from Sean, so that we know that you guys are working on the relationship of the building. The other thing is invoicing. So invoicing is also based on what you quote. Is that when you're doing jobs, stuff like that, you're learning that how much am I going to quote? I've worked out the costs. I've worked out the sales portion of it. What am I selling? I've worked out, maybe they've got a budget. I've worked out that whatever we work out on this, and we know what we're going to receive, so that when we receive the money, that adds to my target. So what I'd like you to do is set targets for each and every one of your facilities managers. And then I want you to work on individual targets with them, and I want you to work on targets within the buildings, meaning I want you to try and enhance your selling options or your selling potential within the buildings. Let's say, for instance, like now we've got backup waters, we've got water readings, we've got rainwater harvesting, we've got all these potentials of making an opportunity. And the same thing, like now you've got Studio 88, you've got the rainwater harvesting job out there at the moment, and you've got the borehole drilling there. Now what you need to be doing is phoning and finding out as to how are you doing on your sales. I've brought everything to you. I've got Rob there. I've done all of that for you. All you guys have done is basically printed the quote. But now what needs to happen is you need to do that follow through. You need to be following up with Mark and finding out how's the budget, what's happening. And you need to, if you're going to make that sale, you've got to be squeaky and you've also got to be clever. And that is what I expect from you guys. So take this video, use it, play it back every single day if you have to, so that you are reminded of what I am required to do from a sales, invoicing, operations, and HR for the game plan. Thank you. Bye-bye.